Welcome back to This Is Not CBC.
Man, yan ang estasyon!
The streets of Canada have seen waves of protests. Farmers and citizens expressing frustration over overreach, opaque policies, and the treatment of their livelihoods. From the truckers' convoy to now, the farmers' convoy, it is safe to say that Canadians are fed up. Now, a shocking story emerges from British Columbia, where hundreds of ostriches were recently culled under orders from the Canadian Food Inspection Agency.
Punish animals had the right to live. They stopped the United States government of their offer to test them. They stopped them too. Something, the old expression, something's rotten in Denmark. Well, something's rotten at the CFIA in Ottawa. And I think that this requires an investigation by an outside force, whether it's the United States or whether it's the other international courts. But the truth has to get out.
U.S. billionaire John Catsimatidis, owner of a major supermarket and media empire, has stepped into the controversy. Catsimatidis helped fund the farm's legal defense earlier this year, and now says what happened raises serious concerns about Ottawa. Something smells fishy in Ottawa, he stated, pointing to what he calls unexplained government behavior and decision-making surrounding the cull. He's demanding an independent outside investigation, saying Canadians deserve transparency and accountability at all levels. According to CFIA regulations, the ostriches at Universal Ostrich Farms in Edgewood, British Columbia were approximately 70 days away from reaching 1 year of age, the milestone at which an outbreak investigation could have been closed. Critics argue this timing makes the decision to cull highly suspicious, raising the question, was the standard rule followed, or was there something else at play? Adding another dimension to the story, Canada announced it had secured 500,000 doses of a human H5N1 avian flu vaccine produced by GlaxoSmithKline, Arapanrix H5N1, as part of its preparedness plan. Moreover, concerns are being raised about the role of Mark Carney, Prime Minister of Canada, including past investments and ties to funds that may benefit from vaccine development, biopreparedness contracts, and related pharma activity. Though direct proof linking Carney to the vaccine companies is limited, some media and public commentary suggest a conflict of interest risk. Though the government recently purchased 500,000 H5N1 vaccines. Coincidence? There seems to be a lot of coincidences when it comes to our government and certain investments that are not being investigated. We're over 300 lives slaughtered for profit. What are they coming for next? Farm supporters argue that the ostrich eggs, linked to antibody research for the avian flu, may have had value in this broader global vaccine preparedness ecosystem, and that the timing of the cull may have prevented that value from being realized. The farm reported a highly pathogenic avian influenza outbreak and appealed the CFIA decision. After exhausting court options, including a final denial from the Supreme Court of Canada, over 300 ostriches were culled. Farm advocates claim the birds were healthy and the cull was executed at night by marksmen, raising major questions about procedure and intent. Catsimatidis emphasizes this isn't just about one farm. He warns of systemic corruption within federal agencies and insists independent oversight is needed. Many Canadians now say there are too many inconsistencies, too many questions, and that outside investigators are needed to restore trust, especially when tied to large vaccine contracts and potential corporate profits. What began as a localized dispute over a farm has escalated into a national conversation about accountability, transparency, and possible misconduct in Ottawa. Was this purely a health measure, or part of something far more suspicious involving vaccine interests and government insiders? The calls for investigation are growing louder. Stay tuned as we continue to follow this story closely. Thanks for watching. This is not CBC.